welcome back to a brand new video here on the second YouTube channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the remaining triple beat cards from the next Scarlet and Violet set, and that got revealed. Of course, triple beat is going to be a little portion of the main set that we're going to be getting on June 9th. So these cards we're all going to get in June, but we do have a look at them early here, and we can see what they are going to be doing. We did get a brand new EX card that did get revealed in this new batch of cards. I think there were some other cards that also got revealed over the past week that I never really got to covering. So there are going to be a few things we can look at here that we haven't looked at yet. And we'll start things off here going to scroll down. We got the grass Pokemon. We got trophies here. Doesn't really do anything special. We do have an Amoonguss, which unfortunately doesn't do much either. Just flip a coin if heads and if any Pokemon's now paralyzed. Yeah, not great. Of course, we already looked at the Meow Scarlet here, which I still think is pretty good. A lot of people actually pointed out when I did a video talking about it. A lot of people said to pair it with Radiant Alakazam, I think it was. So, kind of forgot about that. Yeah, you can pair it like Alakazam. So, I don't know. This card definitely might be the best starter EX that we saw in the set, to be honest. Next up, we have Lockix. Assault Kick, 30 damage. If this Pokemon evolved from Nimble during your turn, it's 100 more damage. I think we might have already looked at that too. We got the Tauros we looked at. We got a new Volcarona with Flame Cloak. Nothing crazy. Kind of a vanilla card. Just 1 for 30. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. Pretty vanilla. We do have a new Pyroar. We're just kind of for DC to 60 and does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Another extremely vanilla card. I'm kind of surprised that, like, there's a lot of vanilla cards that are getting revealed for the record, and yeah, Pyroar just doesn't do anything special. It just kind of is very plain Jane. Of course, we do have the Skeledreege EX. We've already looked at this. We've already talked about it. We got a new Gyarados, which is kind of cool. We do have a pretty cool new Magikarp artwork here. I think we've already looked at the Gyarados, too, where it does 80 and then does 100 damage. For each other remaining prize your opponent has, which, I mean, is cool. For a water and a double turbo, it's not terrible. 160 damage isn't bad. You know, you got to be behind in prizes, though. So, I mean, it's not the worst card ever. We've seen better Gyaradoses, but we've also seen worse Gyarados, to be honest. We got a new Floatzel here. Whirlpool Tail. Flip a coin if heads. Put your opponent's active Pokemon, all cards charged with, back into your opponent's hand. That's a pretty annoying attack. Again, you can flip a coin, put your opponent's active back into their hand. So essentially, your opponent has like a Gardevoir EX in play with like 4 energy on it. You flip a coin, you don't knock it out, so you don't get a prize, but you do put the card right back in their hand, resetting all the hard work that they did to get that thing in play, which is kind of hilarious, to be honest with you. So, not the worst card ever. For 1 energy, that's actually kind of efficient. Maybe in some kind of like control style deck, this card could be good. It is on a coin flip, and Glimwood Tangle will be out of the format by the time this card is released, so we won't have Glimwood Tangle to partner alongside Floatzel for the attack, but it is a cool attack nonetheless, and it could kind of make its way into some kind of like control deck. Kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of the Floatzel we already have, because the Floatzel we already have is like kind of a control league card too, so it's interesting to see them make these like control cards. Next up, we've already got the I'm not going to bother pronouncing it. I just woke up, so I'm like kind of like not fully in it. But a lot of people said in my video that this card will be good with the stage 2 version of this, like the normal version of this card that's also coming out. So you're probably right on that. I did forget about that card too. So this card actually will end up probably being pretty decent, actually. You compare with the other one. Next up, we got Wattrel, and we got Kilo Wattrel, which nothing crazy. Does 3 for 150. It's a pretty vanilla, just kind of boring card. We got Miss Magius. I think we've already looked at Miss Magius, though. We do have a cool new artwork for Miss Magius here. Looks pretty cool. And then, of course, we got a new Grumpig Power Step. Search deck for up to 2 basic energy attaching your Pokemon any way you like. For stage 1, that's not really efficient. Kind of too slow, to be honest. And then its other attack is just pretty bad. I've already looked at Dene. We got a new Oranguru. Tactician strategy. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks. During your opponent's next turn, they can't use the attack. So basically just like disable Torment for 2 energy. It does do damage, but it's a pretty weak card. I mean, I guess there are some Pokemon out there with 1 attack, but you can just retreat out of this effect or play a switch. So Oranguru probably won't be very good. This might be the first Oranguru we've gotten that I don't think we'll see any play. Because like the other one, like even the one we got in what was it? Silver Tempest, I think it was. Silver Tempest, I think the set was. Even that Oranguru's not, like, crazy good, but it's interesting at least. There's something you could do that this one I don't think we'll see play whatsoever. And we got the Tinkatuff, and then Tinkaton. Tinkaton's kind of crazy. You must discard a card from your hand in order to use the ability, and then you draw 3 cards. So it's basically like Samurott, Hisuian Samurott from Astral Radiance, right? You discard a card from your hand, and then you draw 3 cards. It's a pretty good ability. I mean, we've seen it before on Swampert from Celestial Storm. It's a pretty good ability to have. This is on a Stage 2, so it's also now on a Stage 2 Pokemon, once again, so it's not on a Stage 1. That'd be a little OP. Its other attack Special Hammer does 90. If this Pokemon has any special energy on it, does 90 more damage. Honestly, not even that bad of a card. I mean, 2 for 180 isn't terrible. It is a Stage 2. It is slow. It's going to struggle to compete with, like, EXs and stuff. But honestly, it's really not a bad card. Even the ability, again, is not terrible. If you get, like, 2 of these in play, you're drawing 6 cards to turn off the ability alone. So it definitely could be a good card. We'll have to see what happens. So, again, with the format maybe slowing down a little bit, this card could be good. Is it better than the Samurott we have? Depending on the scenario you're in, yeah, this card is better than the Samurott we already have in the format. So, we'll have to see on that. But it is cool to kind of see this card. So, yeah, not the worst card ever. We got a new Dugtrio with a pretty vanilla attack. We got a new Hariyama. Now, this card is interesting. It does have the ability supporting Knack. All of your Pokemon take 10 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon after applying weakness and resistance. Very interesting this is after. Now, this ability does stack. It doesn't say that you can't not have, like, 4 Hariyamas. So if you have 4 Hariyamas in play, your Pokemon take minus 40 damage. Now, honestly, it's not great. We've seen, like, Stage 2s before have an ability where your Pokemon can take, like, 30 less damage. But even then, they weren't very good. And yeah, it's on a Stage 1, so it's way easier to get into play. And there are benefits to the ability, don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of lackluster. If it was maybe minus, like, 20 damage, this card might have been better. But, I mean, minus 10 damage is too little. It's just not enough damage. It's also after applying weakness and resistance, which is actually a pretty big deal. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think this card is that good, but it could be fun to play with, like, a tanky Pokemon that can heal and stuff. So, definitely could be fun on that front, but kind of just not that great overall. Like, I don't think it's going to, like, see competitive play. Because, again, minus 10 damage isn't a whole lot of damage to decrease in the long run. Then we got our first EX of the set, or the first EX of the reveal today. Lycanroc EX here. Is it as good as the other Lycanroc GX we had a while back? Well, it's got the attack Rock Throw, 1 for 40. Okay, nothing special. Then it's got the attack Scary Fang for fighting in a DC during your opponent's next turn. If this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, even if it gets knocked out, you put 10 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So, immediately this card screams mediocre. I kind of have to say it. It's not the greatest card ever. I mean, 140 damage isn't bad. I mean, again, with a fighting, and you can put a double turbo on, or, like, play Gutsy Pickaxe, I guess. I don't know. You can do 120 damage, right? So 120, and then if they attack into you for, like, I don't know, 220, they take 100 damage for doing so. You can combine this with, like, Rocky Helmet. I think there's another tool card that you can play to do damage. I don't think it works on EXs. You could play it with, yeah, you can just play with, like, a healing card, I guess. I mean, I don't think there's any fighting modifiers in the format. Like, if Strong Energy existed, this card might have been a bit better. Ideally, you want to do 140 damage, because then they take the 100. I guess you could play with, like, Choice Belt. I don't know. I'm trying to do the math in my head here, but 140 damage isn't enough. If this thing did, like, 160 damage, it would have been way better. Because if you do 120 damage with, like, a Choice Belt on, right? You do 150 to, like, a V-Star. They attack you. They take 100. They still have 20 HP remaining. So, or even, yeah, no, they have 30 HP. Like, if Palkia V-Star attacks you, you do 150 with a belt on, they attack you, they take 10 damage, they'll still have 30 HP, so you're not even going to knock out V-Stars. Yeah, it's kind of a mid card. It needs, like, more damage output for it to be better. Like, if it actually, like, did better damage, it would have been, like, okay. So, unfortunately, kind of an underpowered card, in my opinion. Yeah, kind of under. The attack is really cool, and, like, it's really cool against, like, single prize decks. Like, if you're playing against, like, a one prize deck, taking 10 damage is kind of huge. Like, if you're playing against Lost Box, Cramorant's gonna take 100 damage. They'll have 10 HP remaining, so that's kind of funny. But not the greatest card on the planet. I'm still gonna try to make it work, of course, for the YouTube content. But competitive wise, I don't think this card is very good, unfortunately. Unless, like, there's another card that might come out that may make it better. I don't know if there will be a card, but you never know. We got a new Phalanx. Coordinate attack to 70 if you have any Phalanx on your bench. Does 90 more damage. Not terrible. We've already looked at the Clodsire here. We got a new Sableye. Thankfully, it's not a broken Sableye like the ones we've had before. It's got Unseen Claw for 1 dark. Does 20 if your opponent's active enemy is affected by a special condition. Does 70 more damage. So you do 90 damage for 1 dark if your opponent's like asleep, burned, confused. Yeah, 1 for 90 isn't great. Now, it is important to note, this is a dark Pokemon, so, like, against a Dark Weak Pokemon like Gardevoir EX or Mew EX, you do get to hit for weakness, which is not terrible, but 90 damage is just way too little of damage, even though you can also factor in, like, burn or poison damage on top of the damage output. So, if you poison your opponent with a Sneasel in play, they take 30 damage for poison, and you do 90, it's 120. But again, it's not crazy. It just doesn't do enough damage, which is kind of funny. I guess with like a belt, you could do like 120, 240. Yeah, even then, it's just not cutting it. This card, I guess like you could play super effective glasses against Mew. I don't know. I feel like I'm jumping, like I'm kind of overthinking. It's just not that good of a card. You got Viper here. If your opponent's active in evolution, does 100 damage. But again, like just not enough damage. We do have a new Hydreigon, which is exciting. I'm a Hydreigon stan, as you know. It's like the mascot of the channel. Hydreigon here has the ability Tri-Howl. It's always nice to see Hydreigon with an ability. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 3 cards of your deck, attach any number of energy you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. However, you do have to discard the other cards. Now, not the worst ability ever. Energy Acceleration in an ability is always good. You do have to discard the other cards, though, so if you like have like pretty bad beats, like if you're hitting like Researches and Marnies, or Researches and Judges, or Averys, or Palpat, or Pokeballs, or even important Pokemon, especially with Rod rotating out of the format, this could be a pretty nasty ability that could get rid of your own important cards, but could also pay off. You have to play with a lot of energy, but on the downside, Hydreigon is, again, a Stage 2 Pokemon, meaning that to even put into play, you have to play Rare Candy, which limits probably the amount of energy you could play in your deck for Hydreigon. I mean, it's not terrible. Again, it's not the worst ability ever. You find the right partner for it, it could be okay. It does stack, too. I think the ability should stack, so you can have, like, 2 in play. Just kind of like a worse Magnezone, you know what I'm saying? So, nothing too crazy there. We do have a new Gumshoes. Nothing crazy. Superior Energy Retrieval did get reprinted. I know a lot of y'all probably didn't see this, but yeah, they did reprint Superior Energy Retrieval, which is pretty exciting. Basically, you discard 2 cards from your hand, and then you can put 4 basic energies from discard back in your hand instead of just 2, like Energy Retrieval. Definitely not a bad card. I don't think there's any, like, Rain Dance in the format, though, I don't think. Oh, there might be Rain Dance in the format, but overall, not a bad card. Definitely a pretty solid reprint to have. This card did see quite a bit of play back in the day when, like, Blastoise Keldeo was a thing. So, who knows? It's definitely a cool reprint. There are going to be some decks that could play it right now, but we'll have to see on that. Great Ball got reprinted. Nothing too crazy. I mean, I guess Great Ball's okay, but when we already have, like, Battle VIP, Nest Ball, Level Ball, and Ultra Ball, which is good enough, right? I don't know Great Ball will see any play, unfortunately. Then we got Dendra. Put 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck, then draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. So, very interesting supporter card. Yeah, being able to put 1 card and then draw cards until you have 5 isn't terrible. If you have, like, 2 cards in hand, you can draw 4 cards. Nothing crazy, of course. I don't know how good this really is, though. Like, it's just kind of a mediocre supporter card. And then we got Clavel. I think we've already read that. Falkner we haven't read yet. Draw 2 cards. You have a stadium in play. Draw 2 more cards. Is this the first time we've seen Falkner on a supporter, by the way? I can't recall. Maybe, well, I know Falkner has his own Pokemon from, like, way back in the day. The Gold and Silver era. But I don't think we've ever seen a Falkner supporter card. We've seen supporters for, like, other Johto gym leaders. But unfortunately, it's not very good. I mean, drawing 4 with the stadium in play isn't terrible. But you have to have the stadium in play, not your opponent. Just kind of a mediocre, very mid-draw card. We've already looked at Getsis. I think we've already looked at that. We've already looked at that. We've already looked at all these, too. I think there is one more card we haven't read yet. There's, like, this, like kind of another Night March style attacker, like, got revealed. I don't know where it is, though, unfortunately. So we can find it here real quick. Yeah, right here. Yeah, my bad. Watchel. Yes, okay. I skimmed over this completely. Dangerous Wings. Does 20 more damage for each Pokemon you discard pile with the attack Dangerous Wings. So, Pokemon are once again giving us another Mad Party, Night March, Lost March type attack. The problem is, there's only 1 Pokemon with Dangerous Wings. So, this literally can only do 60 damage. I guess it can do 80 if you use it with Ditto. 80 for a 60 damage with a double turbo. So, not a great card. I mean, if we do get more of these, it could be good. This is a lightning Pokemon, which is actually very relevant considering like Palkia and Lugia and Rapid Strike and Talion exist. So, in the rotation, when those 3 cards are good, it's beneficial to have a lightning Pokemon. The problem is there's no other Pokemon with Dangerous Wing. Now, I don't think this will be the only Pokemon with Dangerous Wing. There's no way. They're definitely going to give us more Dangerous Wing Pokemon, most likely in the next little mini set that gets revealed that will be on top of the set that this triple beat set will be in. So we're probably going to see more Dangerous Wing cards, because there is potential here. Again, a Lightning Pokemon is really good right now in the format, in the rotation. A Lightning Pokemon is valuable, so definitely could be a good card. We just have to wait for more Dangerous Wingers to come out, and I guarantee we will get more Dangerous Wing Pokemon. But that is it for the triple beat little set analysis here. Again, nothing too crazy. We've already looked at all the good cards. Like, again, we've already looked at the starter EXs, which are clearly the best cards in the set. We've looked at the Wooper Quagsire card. We've looked at Dedenne, which isn't very good. Honestly, like, the set overall is just kind of mid. A Lycanroc EX, unfortunately, is nothing special. Again, if it did a little bit more damage, I think it might have been, like, better, but it's just kind of, it doesn't do enough damage. Like, if its attack knocked out other V-Stars or EX Pokemon in return, then it would be a lot better, but it kind of doesn't, so kind of a mid card. But yeah, a lot of the new cards that got revealed were just not great, but we've kind of now seen what this set will be. All these cards will be out in our set in June, so get excited for that. And that'll be for me on today's video here, looking at all the new Triple B cards that got revealed. I think the Hydreigon might have been my favorite card that got revealed, because I think Hydreigon is just, it's my favorite Pokemon, right? So let me know what you think of the cards down below. What do you think of Lycanroc and Hydreigon and the Dangerous Wing potential thing coming back into the TCG? But that'll be for me. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on the video here on the second channel. Subscribe if you haven't subbed to the second channel already. It'd be greatly appreciated. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Check out Card Cabin and all that good stuff. And I will catch you all in another video. Bye-bye.